Hi, I'm Vivian Oliver-Hernandez. I'm the Carl Wunschy Digital Learning Coach. And in this tip of the week, I'm going to talk about how to add citations to your Google Doc. So there is a very simple way to add those citations into your Google Docs, and it's important as students as you're getting older to make sure that you cite your source, whether that's in your English class or your history class. If you plan on going to college, you're going to need to cite your sources whenever you write any type of paper. Google makes it easy to do that, and that's what I'm going to go through right now. So here we go. So the first step to getting started is going to be to open a Google Doc. Now this can be an old Google Doc or a new Google Doc, however you prefer to add citations to your document. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new one. So the fastest way to start a new Google Doc that I always prefer is just typing doc.new. Once you type doc.new, it'll automatically open up a brand new Google Doc. Once you have the Google Doc open, you're going to go to the section that says Tools, and you're going to find the part where it says Citations. Again, that's Tools, Citations. When you click on Citations, it's going to open up on the right-hand side your Citations section to go ahead and begin citing your sources. Now, once you're here, you're going to click the drop down and it gives you three different choices. You could do MLA format, APA format, or Chicago author date format. Most of the time your teacher or professor will ask you for MLA or APA, so pay close attention to which format they would prefer. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and go with MLA. After you've selected your drop down and what type of citations you would prefer, then you will click Add Citation. You'll see the source type and a drop down to pick the source type, as well as access by and another drop down. So the first example, depending on what you pick as the first drop down with source type, will determine what the access by says. For books, it says, is it a printed book, a website, or an online database? For book section, it says the exact same thing. However, for website, as you see, access by changed, and now it says website, search with URL, journal article, newspaper article, and it just keeps going and going. So there are a lot of ways to cite your source. You will determine the best way. If you don't see the way source type here that you use, you can always click miscellaneous and go from there and decide. And they have access by there as well. So what I'm going to do now is show you an example of how to cite your source if it's a book. For example, a physical book. Now I'm going to use this book because this was a book I read in college. What you would first need to do is pick the source type, which is your book. Then you would go to access by, and I'm going to pick out of all of this print because it's a printed book. If it was a book I found online or a website, I would pick one of the other two, but for this example, I'm going to click print. And the cool thing is you can search with your ISBN. So what does ISBN means? It's your ISBN number. So for example, if I open my book, it's usually going to be in the first front pages. I can see right here my ISBN number. And that ISBN number, if I type it out, will go ahead and pull any information they can find online into the citation. So let me show you real quick. So I've typed out right here the whole ISBN number that was in the book. After I've typed it out, I'm going to go ahead and click search. And voila, there it is. It is all the information the internet could pull about what the title of the book was, the publisher, the year, the author, etc. And I didn't have to type all that out. So that's the amazing thing. If you can find the ISBN number in your printed or online format of the book you use, that just saves you a lot of work without having to type. So once you're done with that, you'll go to the bottom and you can continue on, or you can cite manually. Double check the citation though. Even though it pulls in all the information, you're gonna want to double check that it follows the correct formula and has all the information your teacher or professor is going to need for you to correctly cite your source. But if you're comfortable with it, then you would click continue. It'll again kind of make you double check yourself, and then once you're comfortable, you'll click add citation. So right there is where it'll populate, and then I'm going to show you how to do a website version now as well. To do the website version, you would add citation source, click website. access by website, and then you can search with the URL. So let's say, for example, I was using this Canva, creating videos with Canva as a source because I'm writing something about how to design and create videos. I can copy the link at the top, and then I will paste it into that section, click search, and then voila. Now it does tell you what's missing, and you can get more information about what's missing and how to fix it, etc. So that's the nice thing, is it does try to be smart and say, hey, look at this, I need this information, help us out to go ahead and do it correctly. And there's your 2 so far. So let's say you have added your citations and now you've started writing your paper and you need to add in-text citations. In-text citations can be added effortlessly as well. The best way to do that is to go back to Tools. If it's no longer here on the right, your Citations, revisit the Tools section, click Citations, and there's all the citations I had originally already cited in the document. I did write out, this is my test sentence, but most likely you will have a real sentence, and wherever you want to add your citation, you will click to add your cursor. Your cursor is the blinking marker of where you're about to type, in this case where you're about to add the citation. Then you will go to your sources, and right here both of them say cite, and this is an easy way to insert your in-text citation. So let's say the sentence I just wrote references this source. I will click the cite, and then it pops in, and it'll even recommend, hey, the numbers part is where you want to cite the page number. So let's say I'm like, oh, that's right, then my source is from page 78, done. And then I can continue on with writing my paper. So it is smart. It'll even tell you little things and tricks, or if it's good to go, it won't give you any recommendations, it'll just say it's good to go. So those are 2 simple ways to add your in-text citations as an example, and then you can also edit your citation at any point, and you can also delete your citation at any point. When you are finally done with your paper, you are going to want to insert a break page or a blank page for your works cited page. Now, what I would do is I would do a section break, and then from there go to my works cited here at the bottom right corner, and then it creates automatically a works cited page for me when I'm finally complete with my paper. And again, it gives you some recommendations on what to fix. So as always, I hope this was helpful. I am going to include this add citations source of how to do what I just showed you in the video in the description of the video, or you can email me and I'll send it to you as well. And I hope this was helpful. Please remember to ask your teacher about the formula, preferably your English teacher, because they will talk you through how to properly use MLA and APA format, or even the other formats that they may recommend. When you do so, please remember that anything you use in Google or any sort of technology, if it's an automatic thing, you still want to double check that it's following the formula. Your teacher is going to check that it follows correctly the formula. So if you lose points on work citation and then you try to say, well, I did it in Google Doc, that's not a good excuse. You ultimately are still responsible for making sure your sources are cited correctly, both in text, in the works cited page, and whenever you use someone else's work. It's just part of being a scholar and the proper way to cite your sources. So with that being said, I do hope this was helpful as a way to efficiently cite your sources. And for the Carl Wunschy students, I hope this was helpful in terms of capstone. Remember, capstone is a presentation where you need to cite your sources as you write your essay. So I hope you have a happy writing day. I hope you have a great week wherever you are at this moment in time. And I hope this was helpful. Thanks. Bye.